Hello everyone, welcome to the TSS. In this class we will discuss about important attribute called ID. In the last class we already discussed the class attribute, and in this class we will discuss the ID attribute and the differences between the class and ID attributes, friends. So let us understand what ID tag will do. Okay, HTML ID attribute is used to uniquely identify HTML elements and apply unique functionality to that particular element or block of elements. And with the example you can understand. You don't worry if you doesn't understand this sentence. So, and the difference between the class and ID attributes is class can have same class names for multiple elements, and it uses dot notation, okay, for accessing the group of elements. So where in case of id can only have unique id for the elements, okay, or group of elements. So that duplicates should not be there, because that's why it is called as id means identification. That identification should be unique, but in the class there may actually in the class the duplicates will be permitted, duplicate names. That's how it functions, okay. But id, there should not be duplicate ids, okay. So it should be unique to each and every element or block of elements. So it uses hash notation for accessing the elements, friends, okay. So let me explain all this theory with some example. In the last class we saw the same example, but the small change is in the place of class I had written id and is equal to the value. You can see it is tiffen1, okay, value. Earlier in the while discussing the class attribute we had put it as tiffens, that's it. For both divisions we had placed class is equal to tiffen or class is equal to tiffen, so same value, okay. But id, in the case of id it doesn't work. The id should have unique values, okay. That's why it is tiffen1 and idly like that, and in the separate division that's id is equal to tiffen2, okay. So there should not be duplicate values, all values should be unique. So let us see in the VS Code how it works. This id tag, id attribute tells to the web browser it is unique. So if any functionality you have to add, you need to specify this id in the script tags which is placed inside the header tags. And so that is the CSS part. Much more advanced part is uh, if you grow and learn JavaScript front end programming language, JavaScript also. So that JavaScript, most of the tags are like this, get element by id, get element by id, okay. These tags will appear, okay. So very frequently these tags will come, get element by id, the reference. So by id means for the what is that get element by id means, so get the element by id whose value is so and so. So that element you need to get for processing in the JavaScript, like that. So in the earlier class we already saw the CSS functionality, okay. So JavaScript is still advanced. In the coming tutorials we will learn the JavaScript. Um, so this is the usage, the scope of usage I am telling. So let us concentrate for now, uh, limited to the CSS, okay. So let us move to the test here let's put our HTML side by side. Okay, now you the same example I will explain, friends, then you will get the concept. So here the class is the attribute, defense is the value, and for this division also the value is same. So that's why we targeted this group of elements and apply some common functionality defined here inside the style tags, and we have accessed these division tags with their class names. So before the class names, what we had placed dot notation, what we have used, we had used dot notation. Okay, so in case of HTML IDs, you need to place ID, and here also it should be ID. So defense 1, defense 2. The value should not be duplicated, it should be distinct. Okay, unique. And then here you need to specify hash and defense 1. Okay, so if you specify like this, what happened means when the browser looks for, okay, defense 1 is tagged, so defense 1 where that element is, it will find, okay, defense 1 is here, so it is applied to the division means entire block we need to apply that functionality. So let us apply this functionality which is defined here to this block. Okay, so that is the flow taking place, and if you want to define that some separate functionality to this division 2, then you can specify like this define 2 colon that background color say some green. Okay, and then text color some pink. Okay, so this is separate functionalities, these are not common functionalities. Tiffin 1, so Tiffin 1, this block we will get the functionalities defined here. Okay, and this block will get the functionalities functionalities defined here, friends. Okay, so whys are you can define here in itself like style is equal to like that, we also specified like this also. No, why again this much of tags and confusion? If you say like that, then the answer is, so for simple these two properties it is okay, that inline styling is okay, but tell me, what if we have some we need to specify some 20 properties like background color, padding, so many properties are there, a float, like that. So then is it possible to specify all those 20 properties in here itself in the inline style? Then the single line will goes on and on and on and on, the properties will take more place, so it is not practical and code will become cumbersome and ugly also. So that's why we need to use this ID tag. So simply put this ID tag and we will go on adding, so blah blah blah, some blah blah blah, okay, next blah blah blah, next blah blah blah, right? So like that you can go on in, quoting all your properties, needed properties, right? So this is the process, friends. So let us save it. Here you can see, So this division was changed separately and this division was changed separately as instructed here. Okay, so this is the difference between class and id attribute. So mainly you need to remember 2 points. So class attribute targets the name the targets some common elements with the common values. Okay, and the id element is not like that. Id element is opposite to that. Id element have unique values and targets individually. Okay, so and another important point is class attributes will be assessed by using dot notation, but id attribute values will be assessed using hash notation. So all these things are very much relevant to you when you know the css and the javascript. So most of the work in the css and javascript is selecting the elements and applying some functionality, selecting the elements and applying functionality, selecting the elements and applying some functionality. How it will select means, that's what we discussed in the last class and this class. How the javascript or css selects the element means by making use of this id attribute and class attributes. By utilizing these two attributes only, javascript and css will select the elements and do some functionality over them. This is the bottom line, friends. Okay, so this is all about HTML ID, and in the next class we'll come up with some other topic. Till then, bye bye. Yours Veda signing off. Thank you for listening.